Alright, we're communicating here to start off this winner semis match. We're already a little familiar with Andykinz' team. We'll see that in a moment, along with Lonnie's team. Andykinz is going to bring his battle box. We've seen his Mega Salamence, his Porygon 2. Lonnie has Conkeldurr, Venusaur, Gastrodon, Sylveon, Landorus, and Thundurus.
Yep.
Interesting mix here of Pokemon.
Genies, of course, very powerful.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Sylveon's good choice in doubles just because Hyper Voice is so devastating.
So great. With Pixelate too, makes it fairy type.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of work coming out from Andykinz' Amoonguss. Porygon 2 is a special treat earlier. Heatran, Azumarill, tons of power on the team. Players are thinking hard on what to bring out. 30 seconds remain. All right, we're done. Shaking hands. Let's go with game one here.
Interested to see what these players lead off with. Venusaur and Thundurus.
Yep.
Defensive start from Llandy.
We'll probably be seeing the Venusaur here Mega Evolve.
Yep. Same with the Salamence. I was watching the stream earlier, and I believe Andy has a Mega Salamence, right? Mm-hmm. Mega Salamence, so powerful.
Yeah.
This first turn could play out a number of ways. Both players have a lot of different options to choose from here.
Mm-hmm. It's key to remember that Venusaur cannot be affected by the Spore, so if we're going to see that, instead of a Rage Patter, it's going to be going on Thundurus instead of anybody else.
Yep.
Doesn't matter, though. But he knows whatever he sends in is going to be safe from Spore, because he's not going to score that slot.
Yep. Yep. No chance of Landorus taking that Spore. And I am now going to be joined by Ori, replacing Chibo, Pulse Boys.
What's up, guys? All right. Yeah, I had to run back up to the hotel room. I didn't even know Chibo was calling me, but it does not matter. Looks like we got Andykinz and Lonnie. Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but Lonnie's one of our like semi-active Smash 4 players, and then Andykinz is.
I feel like I've recognized him.
Lonnie?
Yeah.
Yeah. But and Andykinz is one of the best VGC players in Michigan.
Yes, I believe I've heard of him.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He second place at Fort Wayne Regionals last week in VGC, and then I think he did pretty solid at Worlds this year as well.
That's legit.
All right, so it's only game one, so I actually haven't missed a whole bunch.
Nope. These are the leads.
Wow.
Well, no, these aren't. Llandy originally led with Venusaur, switched it out into Landorus, knowing that it was safe from Spore, because Amoonguss was not going to go for Spore first turn against Venusaur.
Yeah.
It's just so unlikely that a player would try to make that hard of a commitment.
Yeah, really. That would be the hardest read.
That would be the hardest read of all time. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to complain about that. Like,
no.
Salamance's running Hyper. Oh, that's right, because it is Aerial Aid.
Yep.
Special Salamence. That is a thing. And Salamence is one of the best Pokemon to run as a mixed attacker.
I could definitely see that. The character's got so much. The Pokemon has just so much speed that he can just make up. He can use that speed to either be a special sweeper or a physical sweeper.
Yeah, and its base stats really allow it to run EVs in both both attacks because it's just got such a diverse move pool and it's so strong to start with. There are very few Pokemon that can successfully run the role of mixed attacker, and Salamence is one of them that does it very, very effectively.
Yeah. And Conkeldurr coming out by Llandy. Interesting move. I think Conkeldurr's not used as often in VGC. I do know he has some play in Smogon.
He has a ton of play in Smogon. Conkeldurr is very bulky, very powerful. He has multiple strong abilities. I believe he gets Iron Fist, which increases the power of punching moves. He also gets Guts, which
for status ailments, they increase
means
attack.
If you switch him in on a Will-O-Wisp or something, good luck.
Yeah.
And he gets access to Drain Punch, which will keep him alive, Ice Punch, Knock Off, Mach Punch.
Yeah.
So much power.
One of the coolest Pokemon too, I think, from Gen 5.
Yeah.
I remember when I would play some competitiveness in Gen 5, my Conkeldurr's name was Tiny Tina in reference to Borderlands.
I always like Dumbledore.
Dumbledore, I like that one too. All right, well, we see Amoonguss coming out. So we got the shiny alliance here for Andykinz. Now we're gonna see a Spore or Rage Powder. What do you think? I mean, I'm
not sure. Well, Rage Powder has priority, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a priority move.
So we would be seeing Spore if any of those two. Apparently he already used his move and we just missed it.
It was a switch. No, it was a switch in.
Oh, it was a switch in. Okay. Not sure.
Rage Powder, definitely smart. He's got to keep that. He's got to keep the Azumarill alive because he's probably. I'm almost positive he has not Belly Drum yet.
No, he is not Belly Drummed. Is Belly Drum the common set?
Yeah, he does Belly Drum and he's got a Citrus Berry to heal it back up to about 50% HP.
Okay.
And then the moment he is done Belly Drumming, he's just gonna Aqua Jet for wins.
Yeah.
We saw it do it in his quarterfinal match versus Nagashi. Yep. Right. And there's I believe that was the Belly Drum, right?
Yep, that was the Belly Drum.
Belly Drum to 50% HP. And so we're about to have a sweep into Azumarill, but he's got to watch out. That Thunderous.
Yeah,
that hits for stab and weakness.
He has the power on the Azumarill, but he cannot hit both Pokemon at once. No. Azumarill does not get physical spread moves.
Are there any physical spread moves?
Yeah, Earthquake.
Oh. See, that one is like one of those like
Rock Slide too.
Okay. I always forget, like, to me it looks like they're like projectile type things. So I'm like, that's not physical. But I mean, you're hitting with Earth.
It's not a contact move, but it is a physical move.
Yep.
Which was did they introduce that in Gen 5 or 6? The contact moves, contact, non-contact.
I think that's a Gen 3. I thought that was Gen 3. Gen 3 was when like they.
No, Gen 4 was the physical special split, where it was no longer based on type, but then to further that, they made it so there are contact and non-contact moves. So some.
That was probably a Gen 4 and the Gen 5 then.
Okay, some physical moves that are non-contact aren't like they can't be affected by stuff like Flame Body or. Static. Yeah.
Alright, we got both parties thinking very carefully about what they're going to do because neither one of these two want to lose one of their next mon because that's going to put them in a very strong deficit, seeing as both players are down one Pokemon.
Yep.
Having a 2-3 advantage is a pretty big deal.
It very much is.
Alright. Very nice. Aqua Jet, getting rid of the pesky Conkeldurr. But will the Azumarill be able to stay through this attack?
No, it won't.
No, it was a trade. And we're down to both parties having only 2 Pokemon left.
Yep.
Andykinz having the Heatran. But that Heat Wave, is that going to do it? It's going to do it.
Yeah, I think that did more damage because it didn't, because there were only 2 Pokemon left on the field.
Well, and it also had close to full health.
That's Eruption.
Oh, that's Eruption?
Where it does more damage based on health.
Okay.
Heat Wave is a spread move, but
because it's spread amongst 2 people,
it splits the damage. But because there was only 1 Pokemon on the field, it just attacked it directly for more damage.
Okay. All right, Mega evolving into the Mega Venusaur. Now this is going to be a very tanky Pokemon.
Yeah, unfortunately for Lani, Mega Salamence does have one of Mega Venusaur's 2 weaknesses.
Yep.
Flying type. Mega Venusaur technically has 4 weaknesses, however, its ability Thick Fat makes it so that it actually takes neutral damage from fire and ice moves.
Awesome.
So, if you want to hit it hard, you got to get it with a flying type attack or a psychic type attack.
All right, Andykinz takes game 1 there over Lani. That was a very close battle between both these players.
Yep. Had the Salamence not been there, that could have spelled trouble for Andy, for sure. Going into game 2, interested to see what adjustments these players make to their teams. Lani does have a hyper voice user of his own, being Sylveon. There is something so strange about battles when both players are running hyper voice. I've seen some, I believe there was a finals at either Nationals or Worlds recently where both players had Mega Gardevoir, and the Mega Gardevoir played a huge role on both teams, and it was just crazy because Hyper Voice with Pixelate is just so powerful.
Yeah.
I've legitimately never seen a move so destructive in doubles.
Yeah, and normally a lot of the time when you do see Hyper Voice being used, it is normally when it's a Fairy-type Pokemon using it because of the Pixelate ability. But it's really nice when you see Pokemon that have Aerialate can do it as well, like Mega Salamence.
And Mega Altaria.
Mega Altaria has...
Or, no, Mega Altaria has Pixelate, excuse me.
Yeah.
But it still does get that Hyper Voice. What's the other Pokemon that gets Aerialate?
Pinsir.
Mega Pinsir, that's right, but it would not use Hyper Voice. Mega Pinsir opts for
Quick Attack.
Usually Return, Frustration, Double Edge, Quick Attack.
Yep. And now this definitely was the same start for Lani compared to game 1, but was this a similar start for Andykinz? I don't think so. He did not use a Porygon last time.
No, he did not bring the Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is a very versatile Pokemon. Porygon, in and of itself, is just it's a very versatile Pokemon because Porygon, not that good of a Pokemon. Porygon 2, very good tank.
Yeah.
It's got
Eviolite.
Pretty good. Yeah, the Eviolite makes its defenses really strong. Porygon Z, extremely strong wall breaker, super fast. It can be a sweeper. Stab, Tri-Attack, ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, but both players, once again, thinking long and careful about what they need to do here. Neither one wants to mess up because the winner of this is guaranteed top 3 when they move it on into winners finals.
Guaranteed money.
Yeah. With 18 people and a $10 buy-in.
That's not bad.
Third place is at least making almost $20.
Yeah, the pot is $180.
Pretty nice.
That's pretty solid.
And especially for most Pokemon players, especially like Andykins, where they're used to they normally don't play for cash. What they play for is points.
Yeah, you get points, and Worlds pays for your trips to other stuff though, don't they? And you get
there's a lot of travel stipends that they give out.
I remember whenever I see Worlds and I see the rewards, whether you're playing TCG or VGC, you get so many Pokemon cards.
Yes.
You get a lifetime's worth of Pokemon cards if you win that.
It's amazing. And what VGC players do when they actually do place very well at big tournaments like Nationals, Regionals, and Worlds, they just get their bulk that they win, and then they just go sell it to a TCG player who didn't make anything, who didn't do that well.
That's legit. So they can make some money.
Yep. And now Gastrodon coming out from Lani. Very interesting.
Yep.
I do not know. I mean, back in Gen 4 when Gastrodon did come out, he was a very underused wall.
Yeah. And Gastrodon actually became even more powerful in Gen 5 because Gen 5 was very dominated by weather.
And he had
in pretty much any format. And the nice thing about Gastrodon is it benefits from both rain and sandstorm.
Oh, because he's part ground?
Mm-hmm. He gets defense boosts from sandstorm. And he doesn't really care about rain teams and swift swim water
Yeah.
attacks.
But what he does need to watch out for is if he gets hit by a grass attack, he's done. That's a times 4 weakness.
Yep, that's his Achilles heel right there.
Yep. Now both players, and once again, always thinking very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Andykinz not playing it recklessly, to say the least.
That Thunder Wave paying off for Llandy right now.
Yeah, double paralysis now. So, a lot of hard stuff.
Salamon's not getting to make its move. We're going to see a Scald onto the Porygon 2. That did next to nothing. But a double paralysis on Llandy's side, and he gets a free little bit of damage onto
For the
Porygon
past
2.
couple stream matches that Andykinz has been on, he's been plagued by status ailment hexes. He had a freeze hex with a Azumarill. He had pair hacks, sleep hacks, everything.
There was a set on stream recently where a Wobbuffet came out, and I think game 2, it just got paralyzed like every turn. Couldn't do anything. Poor Wobbuffet.
That is not what we want to see. And that's not like one of those disheartening things about Pokemon where you actually feel bad for your opponent because they don't get to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad. I remember I won a best of 5 against someone because they missed overheat twice in a row.
Wow.
Like they had it, all they had to do was overheat, and then I didn't KO them, so they still had it, and then they missed again.
Yeah.
Like, game is so volatile sometimes.
It is. And Andykinz' Porygon 2 doing work right now, even through the paralysis. That Ice Beam was able to knock out that Thunderous, and that is going to be a very good kind of momentum switch going into the rest of this match for Andykinz.
Now, to my knowledge, Amoonguss always runs Spore, always runs Rage Powder, and sometimes runs both Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb. Sometimes it runs something like Protect, and then either Giga Drain or Sludge Bomb. Do we know if Andy's
Amoonguss, his the move pool is Spore, Rage Powder, Protect, and Giga Drain.
Okay, so we do have the Giga Drain.
Yep, it's a very Protect oriented Amoonguss. Very focused on making sure that it's the target and it heals up when it needs to.
Alright, we're going to see a Rock Slide.
And that's not going to do a lot of damage to the Duck. I almost said Gastrodon. And Amoonguss did get the Protect off, so Amoonguss was very much set. But Poison comes out. Gastrodon.
Yeah, Gastrodon does not enjoy being poisoned at all.
No, nobody does. We saw in a match when Andykinz was on stream versus Nagashi, he was going up against Nagashi's Cresselia, and the saving grace for that match was that he was able to get a Toxic off on Cresselia, and it just ate away at Cresselia to the point where it was basically just done. Yeah. Cresselia was going to die no matter what, and there was no amount of Calm Minds it could do to save itself.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy to think for Cresselia, too. I have a Heat Ran coming out. Rock Slide. Ducks. The Duck is avoided, but Heat Ran not going to take a lot of damage. That is a Steel type going up against a Rock move.
Now, it is neutral because Heat Ran is a Fire type. That Earth Power going to do a little bit more,
but the Shuka Berry with the very big save.
That's going to be a little frustrating for Llandy.
Yeah, and Porygon just used Recover, so all the way back up to full health. All that work he's been doing on Porygon just completely negated now.
Yep.
Citrus Berry comes out because the Toxic Poison does end up opening up the Citrus Berry. So Gastrodon no longer has an item used for the rest of this game.
Yep, Gastrodon kind of on his last leg now.
Yep, on his last little nub. I don't know what he's got. His legs. They're little
I think they're still called legs.
Legs.
Like snails have feet, right? It's called a foot. Like snails have a foot.
I believe it is. Yeah. So it's got feet.
Not that Gastrodon is a snail. It's
I don't know.
If
any of you guys in the chats are anatomy majors or zoology people, who know animals, you can feel free to correct us.
We don't know anything about slugs.
No, I only know graphic design.
I don't know what those things are called. I like them though. I think they're funny.
A Ice Beam coming out though, not going to do a whole bunch of damage to the Duck. The Duck is just doing an excellent job of being a wall like we were talking about.
Yeah, Andykinz Ice Beam, a little bit stronger than Llandy's Ice Beam.
And when this Landorus is in this form, he is ground flying, so that Ice move is going to be ×4.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so Ice Beam Very critical move. And out comes Conkeldurr, which is Lonnie's last Pokemon. And here comes the Amoonguss. You always know the party's here when Amoonguss is there.
Now I'm a little curious as to why we didn't see the Conkeldurr earlier. It's probably because the Salamence just threatened it too hard. The Conkeldurr is the answer to Porygon.
Yep.
Conkeldurr wants to be statused.
Yes.
And
but you don't want to deal with an aerialated Hyper Voice.
Right,
That's going to one-shot you.
Absolutely. But we're going to see an Ice Punch onto Amoonguss. Probably not what Andykinz was expected.
And frozen.
Yep.
Andykinz shaking his head right there.
Freeze, probably the most random element about this game. There's no...
Oh, wow. Okay. And an Ice Beam takes it out.
Yep. There's no move that directly freezes someone. It's pretty much always a 10% chance off of an ice move.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, there is no set amount of turns that
you can stay
that
frozen.
you can stay frozen. You can stay frozen forever. It's a 20% chance. I think it's 20%. So, unlike Sleep, where it's like after, I think, 3 turns in this game, you wake up.
Yep. No, Sleep is 5.
No, Sleep used to be 5.
Oh, it's not. It's no longer 5.
It's no longer 5. Sleep
wow.
was so dominant as a status that they've lowered it over the years. I think it was lowered to 4, and now it is at 3.
Okay, but I know it does still maintain that reset upon switch outs.
Yes. And
Conkeldurr with a drain
it doesn't.
punch.
I think they changed that recently too, actually. I don't know if they made it so it does reset now, as opposed to like it used to not, or if it's the other way around.
Yep, and are we going to see... I think Gastrodon's about to go down here to Poison.
Yep, so it's all riding on Conkeldurr.
And Lonnie looking a little bit shaken up right there. He kind of feeling it a little bit. And one Aerialate Hyper Voice from a very fast Mega Salamence.
Now, Mega Salamence is paralyzed. I just want to bring up this possibility. Conkeldurr is very slow, so even though Mega Salamence is paralyzed and it has -6 speed, it has, I think, a quarter of the speed it normally does. That might still be faster than Conkeldurr. It's not. But an Ice Punch can probably...
Do it.
Oh, no!
Oh, my gosh. It hangs on by the...
Double Edge is going to take it.
Wow.
Incredible.
What a match. That was probably one of the most close matches we've seen on stream all day.
I'm curious to know if that was a damage roll. Andy hung on with 6 HP. It almost looked like Lonnie had it, because if he had taken out the Salamence, what could Porygon do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It was easily going to go to a Game 3 situation there.
Yep.
But good stuff by Andykinz, and good stuff to that Mega Salamence rolling on right there.
Very clutch. But I'm sure we'll see Lonnie making a solid losers run.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he is by no means out. He's got a very strong potential to make it through losers bracket, as he is in losers quarterfinals currently.